Welcome back to Grassroots Media. Welcome back to this week's edition of the Sand Meat Market Jacob Willett Show, where we cover everything on the diamond with the Chucky Doak Black Knights baseball team. As always, I'm joined here with head baseball coach Jacob Willett. Coach, how you doing today?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Picking up a big win over Pigeon Forge last night, 9th ranked team in the state. I assume you're feeling pretty good today.
Absolutely. That's a big win for us. We've had a really good week so far, and we're starting to grow and build some momentum heading into the postseason.
I want to talk about the 4 games that we previewed last week. I know it started off with the one up there at Pigeon Forge, and then you played Unaka, followed by Morristown East and Pigeon Forge again, where you rattled off 3 straight wins. But the one that I want to start with first is I want to talk about the 2 Pigeon Forge games. I know you went up there, didn't go the way you wanted it to, ended up being, I think, a 13-0 final. And then they come down here yesterday on Tuesday, went perfectly your way. I think you won 6-3 final. Talk about those games. Talk about what kind of changed between the first and the second and some of the things you did differently to be able to come out on top over the Tigers.
So when we headed down to Pigeon Forge to play in the first game, our guys, we didn't come out. We came out single to start the game. Strikeout, hit into a double play, inning over, killed momentum. It's tough to have 3 singles and put no runs on the board in the first inning. That's what happened. So we got to execute better. The play at first where we got doubled up, we probably beat the throw out. Unfortunately, didn't get the call. So now we have to bounce back. We've had a little adversity. We should be up 1-0, but we're not. The call was made, called them out. It is what it is. So now we got to go back into the field and find a way to lock in and compete. They come in and we kind of let that frustration boil over to defense and our pitching, and we struggled executing to get outs there in the first inning. They put up 3 or 4 in the first. We come back in, we go 3 up, 3 down, and at that point, momentum's completely swung their way. And it just snowball. They get a couple more hits, it piled on. We didn't play well. We struggled defensively. We made multiple errors. It's the same stuff we've talked about all year, right? We pitch, we play defense, we're in every game. So we didn't do that in that game. Turn around, play them yesterday, pitching and defense, we have 1 error all night that didn't cost us anything. Didn't cost us a run. We got out of the situation, but 1 error through 7 innings of baseball and limited the walks. Pitchers competed in the zone. Luke did a fantastic job. Gavin did a fantastic job. They pitched well enough for us to win, and defensively, we played sound baseball.
And you can live with 1 error.
Right. You can, especially if it doesn't cost you, especially if you come and get out of that situation. You know, you make an error with 2 outs and a runner on first. Okay, it puts a little more stress on your pitcher, but if we get out of that situation and cut it right there, then we're okay. We can move forward past that. Sometimes we can't. Sometimes we make that 1 error. We walk a guy, maybe a pass ball. Now they're on second, third with 2 outs. We should have been out of the inning. Now we give up a double, score 2 runs, something like that transpires. Fortunately, yesterday it didn't cost us. But the execution yesterday versus the last time we played them was night and day. And the 2 things we talk about the most, our defense and our pitching. We get those 2 things, we can beat anybody. And we saw that yesterday. We played maybe the best team we've played all year. Really good baseball team. Really prominent for winning state championships in baseball. I mean, they're at the state level every year, competing for a state championship every year, it seems like. And we went and we outplayed them. We out-hit them. We out-pitched them. We played defense better. We played better baseball. So that just showed, not to discredit those guys, they're a phenomenal baseball team, but to show our guys, hey, we can win. We know how to win. We see what we're stressing when we do it the correct way, and when we execute, where we're at and where our capabilities are. So the game was 6-0 in the 5th inning. There was a couple situations throughout the game where we get a bunt down. We read a ball. We execute offensively in a couple more situations because we did enough to win the game. We put up 6 runs against a team like that. Obviously, we're doing something right. But there was more that we could have done to put ourselves in a position. 5th inning, we could have ended the game. We could have won 10-0 right there, run ruled them, and not had to worry about the rest of the game because, you know, a team like that, it's only a matter of time before they come alive. Mm-hmm. And they did that in the 7th inning. They came alive. They put some stress on us, ended up cutting into 3 runs. Had a couple guys on. We worked out of it. We did a great job. We had multiple double plays yesterday. We played defense incredibly well. I'm super proud of our guys for that. Multiple pop flies in the infield. Throughout the year, we've struggled with that. It's something we've stressed on. Hey, communicate. We got to communicate. Yesterday, we communicated very effectively. We made the plays. we're starting to grow as a team. And talking with my dad, who helps me coach, I was talking to him earlier, or I think it was after Pigeon Forge's game Thursday. We were a little frustrated, right? Because we're sitting there and we're like, the guys are growing. We see the growth in the locker room. We see how they're buying into what we're trying to do. They're committing to the approach that we want them to commit to. They're handling themselves. They're staying composed. They're getting behind each other. They're a good group of guys that are starting to play the way we want them to play. Why are we not getting results? Why are we not getting results? The results have to come. They're doing it the right way, so the results have to come. And then we look around, not even 5 days later, we knock off a top 10 team in the state of Tennessee and a 4A school.
In a long time.
I don't know that we've ever beat them. I really don't know that we've ever beat them. I know 2 years ago we had a phenomenal team 2 years ago, and we went up and played them, and they beat us pretty good. And then we played them again. They beat us again. So that shows that we're there with the team that had won the district, went undefeated in district, won the conference outright. What was it, a 24-win team or something, 26 wins, something crazy. We beat a team that team couldn't beat. And these guys can hold on to that to show, hey, we can do that. A lot of our seniors were on that team. Mm-hmm. They saw the amount of success that we had with that group. And now they can see, hey, we've got that too. We've got that kind of potential too. So now we just got to get it pieced together and get our guys starting to believe in what we're doing, not question what we're doing, believe in it, because it's working. Last week, us as coaches questioned a little bit, what can we do? Because we're asking the dudes to do what we want them to do. They're starting to do that. The amount of growth we had is just tremendous. Can't even speak upon the guys that have had just tremendous growth for us. And by growth, I mean mental growth, not necessarily physical abilities, because they've had that. It's how they process the game, how they process failure, how they uplift guys around them, how they elevate our performance on the field by how we carry ourselves mentally. So we said that they're doing that now. We believe that they're doing that very well. So the results have to come, and they came this week so far for us.
And that's a win that you can look back on fondly too, because when you beat what I think ETBCA has ranked as the 9th best team in the state in Class 2A, that just shows you that you could beat anybody that you put on your schedule and that you put in front of you all the way up until the state level. And that kind of gives them that hope, like, hey, we could make that far push into the postseason if we can beat a team like Pigeon Forge, who everybody already expects to be at that state championship level at the end of the season.
Right. And when we played them the first game, they were at third. I mean, they're third in rankings across the state. But I think they lost to Farragut, which Farragut
if you
is
know, you know.
Probably a top 25 baseball team in the entire nation. So not even Tennessee, in the entire country. So that's not a bad loss on their part. But so I think they fell a little bit after losing to Farragut to number 9. But I know the first time we played them, they were at number 3. So they're arguably a top 5 team in the state, and I believe they got some dudes. They're talented, and we come out and we outplayed them. So it's very promising for our guys, and now our guys start to believe. That's the biggest thing. Morristown East, we played a really good baseball team. Mm-hmm. Morristown East is a good team, especially at 4A school, I believe.
It's another game I don't think many people expected Chucky Dope to come in and win.
Right, and you look at the games that Morristown East has played against our conference teams. I mean, a lot of run rules. We come out and we beat them. We outplayed them again. And the same thing, right? We pitched it well, and we play phenomenal defense. And it seems like the trend, even if you look back earlier in the season, when we're having a lot of success and we're winning a lot of games, we're pitching and playing good defense. And we can manufacture enough runs to win a baseball game if we do those things.
Mm-hmm. Always, and I want to talk about those 2 wins in between both of those Pigeon Forge games, as we talked about, where you started with Pigeon Forge on the road, I think, on Thursday, played Unaka and played Morristown East before you ended up beating Pigeon Forge last night. I know Unaka is a school you're always going to have a tie to because that's who you got your first win over to start the season. You got another win on them to get the season sweep, and then you beat Morristown East, who I just mentioned is another team that I don't think a lot of people expected Chucky Dope to come in and beat. So you've rattled off 2 great back-to-back wins over East and Pigeon Forge, where a lot of people doubted you, and then add that Unaka game. You've got a 3-game winning streak going on. So talk to me about how good it feels going on such a good streak at the end of the year.
Right, it's phenomenal. So we lost last Thursday at Pigeon Forge. We come back, we got Unaka that Friday. Unaka, we kind of got things back on track. We got back into the winning mindset. We had a senior come out and make his first start on the mound in his career. Isaiah Cohen came out and threw a shutout. He threw a phenomenal game. He did well enough for us to win the game. I mean, he threw a shutout. He competed at a very high level. We played good defense, and we hit the baseball. So we ended up getting a run rule in that game, and it started there. We started pitching and playing defense there in that one. It rolls over. Monday, we've had the weekend to get a little rest. We come back Monday, and there it is again. We pitch it extremely well. We play fantastic defense, and we beat a really good team who threw. Christian came in to close. Lincoln started. Probably the best start Lincoln has had all year. Had excellent command of his pitches. His misses. So throughout the year with Lincoln, his misses has been chaotic. When he's off, he misses by a lot. So if he's throwing balls, they might be off the backstop. But his misses in the game against Morristown East were plaque. Borderline calls that could have went either way. My cousins back there behind the plate wouldn't give me a call. So I'm just playing.
Even with family, you still can't get a call back there.
That's what I'm saying. And no, he did a great job. But Lincoln's misses were very competitive misses, high-level misses, and those keep you in the game because now batters can't take off pitches. You're not wasting pitches. Even there, if we're missing by a ball or two outside, they still got to hard take that pitch. They still got to lock into the at-bat and play on the defensive because they know you're missing around the zone or you're competing within the zone. So then he can get on the aggressive, throw the breaker. He pounded the breaker really well for strikes. Threw a good changeup. All three pitches working really well, throwing them for strikes. Kept them off balance. A good team. Kept them off balance all game long. Christian came in, shut the door, got the save. We played a really good baseball game that day. And that's a really good baseball team that we played.
Got a great 3-game winning streak going, looking to extend that also to finish the season where some teams only have a few games left. I think you've got 4 left at the end of the season. We'll go ahead and talk about those in just a minute with senior night and what else is happening with Chucky Duck baseball right after this break here on Grassroots Media.
Hey, I'm Jeremy Roberts with Southland Equipment. No matter how big or how small the job might be,
we've got the right equipment to get the job done.
We have one of the area's largest and best inventory of new Massey Ferguson Premier, Cub Cadet, and Bush Hog tractors and mowers. Our Will Stock Parts department has everything you need. Belts, blades, hoses, and filters. From 1 horse to 120 horses, we'll take care of you in our service department. Hay equipment, we do that too.
Whether you have 1 acre or 1,000, come by and see us at Southland Equipment.
Welcome back to Grassroots Media. Welcome back to this week's edition of the Sand Meat Market Jacob Willett Show, where we cover everything on the diamond with the Chucky Doe Black Knights baseball team. As always, I'm joined here with head coach Jacob Willett. So you got 4 games left in your regular season. I know you've got 2 this week, or actually 3 this week, on back-to-back-to-back days, and then you've got 1 on Monday to close out your regular season before you go into the district tournament. Go ahead and take me through what's left on your schedule and what you expect out of the boys.
It'd be nice to win the rest of the week. It would. It'd be nice. But what we've done so far this week is put ourselves into a good position to win the week. You know, you want to win the week. You want to win more than you lose in the week. And where we're at right now, we've got an opportunity to do that. We win 1 more, we win the week. We can still lose 3 straight, come out feeling kind of sour about the week. But right now, I think we're building momentum. Who's to say what happens the rest of the week? But we've played well. As long as we continue to play well defensively, then I don't really care if we win or lose, to be honest. And I know that kind of sounds crazy, but from where we're at, I think as long as we're playing good defense when it comes around to districts times, we're playing clean, we're communicating, we're talking, we've got an understanding for each other and a feel for where to be at, I think we'll be okay. So our long-term goals are still ahead of us. We've put ourselves in a position to get hot at the right time. So that's what you want out of your program. Always get hot around conference time. Those are the most dangerous teams, and I think we're starting to come alive here. Beginning of the season, we played really well. We had that spell where we kind of fell off a little bit, but we fixed some things within. We're starting to climb back to where we need to be, I would say right now, this week, we've played our best baseball all year this week. So we continue to do that over the next 3 games. We go 5-0. Now, whether we do that or not, that's yet to be seen. But I know we execute like we have over the past 2 days. We sweep the week, and it's no discredit to any team that we play. It's just we're really tough to beat when we play a certain way. So teams got to come beat us. They're going to have 8 or 9, 10 hits to come beat us, because we're not going to give them any free ones. So that's what we got to keep doing. We keep doing that, we'll be just fine.
I know you've got Morristown East on Thursday night and North Green on Friday. Those are going to be 2 revenge games for each side. I know you beat Morristown East on Monday, so they're going to be looking to avenge that loss. And then North Green, you had the loss out there earlier this season, so you're going to be looking to avenge that loss. What do you expect in both of those games, and how do you want to go into each of them and approach them?
I'm sure the way Morristown East is feeling right now is probably how we were feeling about the North Green game. I'm sure it is. That's a great comparison there, because even though it was like a month or 2 ago, I still have a very sour taste in my mouth from the last time we played North Green. We've made a lot of changes since then. We've grown a lot as individuals since then. I'm referring to our players and myself as a coach, right? We've all grown since then. So we'll see our growth, hopefully, the next time we take the field against them, and it's a similar situation, right? We're a bigger school. We go play North Green, they beat us. Morristown East is a bigger school. They come to play us, we beat them. When you're a 4A school and you come to play a 2A school, you don't expect to lose that game. Whether you're 6-14 on the year and the team you're playing 16-0, doesn't matter. You don't expect to lose that game. But we got them the first game. They're going to be looking for some payback in the second game, so I'm sure we'll see their best. I'm sure we will see their best. I'm sure we'll see their best arms, their best bats. We'll see it all, because I'm sure their coach was wanting to win that one, get a little redemption. But we keep executing like we have been. We'll be okay. It doesn't matter who we see. We faced good pitching last night, really good pitching last night. First guy might be best velo we've seen all year, but we produced. And on the flip side of that, we played really sound defense. And you do those things, you're in every game. It's the same story, right? But North Green, it was ugly the last time we played them. Simply put, it was ugly. We kind of owe a better showing to them. So hopefully we come out and give them a better showing than we gave them last time. Because, you look at some of the teams we played. I know you can't really do that, but look at some of the teams we've played and beat North Green. So you look at it and you're like, man, they shouldn't blow us out, but they did. So hopefully we give them a better showing, and I expect our guys to be fired up for that one. They're definitely wanting some comeback on that one as well, some revenge. But we'll see how it goes.
And then after you play Morristown East and North Green on Thursday and Friday, you get Victory Christian on Saturday, and then you play FCA on the road on Monday. Take me through both of those games. I know they're 2 teams that I'm not as familiar with, because I know some teams around the area play them, but I've never seen them in person, and I don't think you've played them on your schedule this year either. So take me through those games and what to expect.
I don't really know what to expect, to be honest. I don't know a lot about them. I can't find anything on them.
It's hard to find something.
Oh, it is. But they probably do that for a reason. From what I've heard, Victory Christian's a pretty good team. FCA, we come out and we compete, we execute, we'll be okay. But Victory Christian, they seem like they're a pretty good ball club. I know they play a lot of big schools, so they play them pretty close. So I'm sure they got a good team. I know they've got a couple commits on that team. They're probably pretty solid. So we'll see what happens. I mean, I'm sure right now the way we're playing, we'll get everybody's best arms. That's just how it turns out when you win a couple big games like that, which is fine. That's better for us. We get to see some quality arms before the tournament. We get to play really good teams before the tournament. It gets us going in the right direction.
And I know Friday night's a very special night too. I want to backtrack and go back to it before we close the show real quick. With it being senior night, I know senior night's one of the things I always ask about, or I try to every year. And it's always good to kind of recognize those seniors and everything they've done for the program over the last few years. I know you were with these seniors when they were sophomores, when your dad was a head coach. And go ahead and take me through their time and your time both here spent at Chucky Doke and the time that you've been with them. What have they meant to the culture and the program?
We'll start with 2 guys that might be under-recognized in our program. Chase Jafellers has showed up. This is his first year playing baseball. He showed up every day and worked his tail off. Love the kid to death. I really do. Do anything for him if he asked it or needed it. He's a vocal point in our locker room. He's a vocal point in our dugout. He's the guy that's always keeping our guys in the game, providing energy, providing life, sometimes obnoxious. That's okay.
Kids, man.
I know. He's a great kid, though. Love him to death. But guys like that might go unrecognized mean the world of difference for your program. He's a guy that would bring guys with him to work to conditioning in the mornings. 6 o'clock. It's not easy to get your hind end up and get to conditioning at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Especially when you have a game the night before. Or something.
Right. Well, you call guys and bring them with them. You know, you can't find guys like that. It's hard to find guys like that. And love the kid to death. Super glad he came out to play. Hit a home run against West Green. I mean, special kid. Really special kid. Love the kid. Isaiah Cohen got his first start on the mound for us last week through a shutout. Super proud of him. He's going to get another opportunity to throw coming up soon. He's another guy. Hasn't played baseball. Didn't play since middle school. Came out his senior year, and from where he started to where he's gotten out, when he started off, honestly, not to be mean to him, might have not played JV for us. Now he's put himself into a spot with his work ethic to put him in a spot where now he can go out and win a game on the mound for us. But it doesn't just happen. It's special guys like that show up and put in the work throughout the offseason, show up in the fall, show up in the winter, show up in the spring, and grind because they want to play. And they might have not gotten as many opportunities that they've liked this year, but you know what they haven't done? They haven't complained about it. They've asked, what more can I do, Coach? What else do I need to do to show you that I deserve an opportunity? And you love guys like that, you know, because it could go two ways right there, right? You could have a cancer in the locker room. I don't play. Coach is an idiot. He doesn't know what he's doing. It could. Or you could have the guy, what do I need to work on, Coach, to get better, to get an opportunity? And those two guys right there, those are those guys. And that means a world of difference, especially for me in my first year, trying to build a culture here and a program that with respect and integrity in our program, to have guys like that respond in that way means a world of difference. And I love those guys to death for that. And I'm so glad they came out to play their last year here. And we love them. We love them. 3 more guys that we got. We've got 5 seniors. Collier Franklin might be the hardest worker we've got. The kid showed up every single day. 6 a.m.s for him too, every single morning. One time he beat me here, and he never let me hear the end of it. So I always show up really early, and
just to beat Collier Franklin.
Well, I've always been that way, you know. If we're having something, I'm going to be early. But he's the same way, right? He shows up early. It's the first one in here, the last one out of here, and he's put himself in a position where I got to go find the kid a place to play next year. You know, he's got to keep working, but I think he keeps growing as a player. He'll find him a spot to play, and it's on me to kind of go find him a place, and I'm working on that for him. But he, a leader in our locker room, would bring guys every morning with him to conditioning. Guys like that are irreplaceable. They really are. It's going to hurt our program losing that. It really will. And another guy that might be kind of unnoticed is Collier. Starts every game for us, third baseman. Up until about 2 weeks ago, he didn't have an error on the year. I know he struggled a little here over the last few days, and the guys give him a hard time about it. But he's a player, right? He's just in a little defensive slump, and he's starting to come around. And now we see the results, right? He's playing better baseball, and we're winning. When he's playing bad baseball, we're not winning. Mm-hmm. So guys like that make a difference that you don't see maybe with the untrained eye. But he means a world to our program. He's a great kid. We love him to death. Done anything we ask him to do, not complain. The first guy to help picking up equipment on the field, helps us clean up after games. The dude's irreplaceable. I mean, love him to death. Luke Myers, 4-year baseball player here, where he started at the beginning of the season, and I'll throw him and Christian in here in the same boat. Luke and Christian are our last 2 seniors, and the amount of growth that we've gotten from them as people, not even as players, as people, over the past couple months has been incredible. It's been incredible. And I truly think we're starting to make a difference, and not only these kids' lives at the baseball field, but their lives at home. I think we're starting to make better people, and now these two guys are really, really high character guys. They didn't start that way, some might say. They could be head cases, but we've learned, and they're still growing. It's a process, right? You don't just get there. You keep growing. But they have made such a phenomenal change for our program. Words can't even describe the changes that these guys have made for us. They're asked to do stuff that they've never been asked to do, and it's tough, right? As a senior, you've played for 4 years. Like, you know how it works, right? Coach, I've played for 4 years. I don't got to listen to what you're saying. These guys aren't those guys. They might have been at first, right? But the amount of growth that we've got out of them, they're not anymore, right? They'll do whatever we need to do to win, and they're competitors. They're two of the biggest competitors you'll ever meet in your life. They play multiple sports, and they just want to win. They just want to win, and they've sacrificed for our program. They've made changes for us, and now we're seeing the results of the changes that those guys are making, because those are two leaders in our locker room. Those are guys that our other players look up to. They look up to Christian and Luke because they've played a lot of baseball, right? They've been starters for forever. Christian maybe since he was a freshman. Luke probably since he was a sophomore. Maybe a freshman too. I can't remember that far back. But they played a lot of baseball, so the guys respect them. So when they carry their self professionally, like they have been doing, and it didn't just get that way. We've made some changes with them, and credit to them for buying in and doing what they've been asked to do and making those changes for our guys in our program. Now that they've made changes, the guys around them make changes, right? Because they say, Christian and Luke's carrying themselves this way, I really better be carrying myself this way. These guys are seniors, they're looked up to. So then it just trickles down through the entire locker room. And these guys, I'm so proud of them. I love these guys to death. Luke and Christian, Collier, Isaiah, Chase, you all are a special bunch. My first senior class here as a head coach, and I couldn't ask for a better one. I really couldn't. I heard a lot of things coming into the year about upperclassmen and some things that had transpired, and now to look where we're at, it would never happen, because the amount of growth they've made as individuals. And now, hopefully it translates into their life after high school. They're about to graduate here in a couple weeks. Now we make better people. Now we got guys that are looked up to upon by the community because they're making a very positive impact on the lives of those around them. And that's what we're trying to do with these guys here. And we're starting to get that. And I respect the heck out of these guys for putting egos and putting pride aside for the betterment of our program. And I love them to death.
Love always giving those seniors their flowers when it comes senior day, and that's on Friday night. I know this will air a little bit before that, so if you are a Chucky Doak fan or supporter, then you probably already know it's senior night. You're probably already at the ball field right now, and you might see this later, but hopefully you get some more wins, and we can come in here next week and talk about a few more. Hopefully you continue that winning streak as you go through the end of your season right here. We'll sit down next week and talk about the district tournament. Don't want to go too far yet just because there's still some things I think to shake out. We don't know the exact seeding just yet, but we'll go ahead and end it here. Coach, once again, I appreciate you sitting down and talking to me. Thank you all once again for watching this week's edition of the Sand Meat Market Jacob Willett Show. Look forward to seeing you all next week here on Grassroots Media.
Thank you.